Hey everyone, my name is Julie Stigmeyer, and I work for writing support for the Graduate School of Education and Psychology at Pepperdine University. Today, I'd like to share some information for you on how to avoid plagiarism. For many students, their biggest fear is being accused of plagiarism. Since academic honesty is critical, this resource will help to define plagiarism, identify types of plagiarism, understand patch writing and similarity scores, and discuss ways to avoid plagiarism. The APA defines plagiarism as the act of presenting the words, ideas, or images of another as your own. It denies authors or creators of content the credit they are due. Plagiarism is unintentionally or intentionally using someone else's words or ideas as your own without giving proper credit to the original author. The consequences of plagiarism can be serious. A student may fail an assignment, a course, be placed on academic probation, or be dismissed. A published doctoral dissertation and the writer's doctoral degree may be revoked. A professional may have manuscripts rejected or lose a job. Let's talk about types of plagiarism. Plagiarism can be borrowing ideas or language or wording without giving credit to another author. It can also be defined as borrowing from your own work from another class without permission of both instructors. That is considered self-plagiarism. And in order to use content that you have uploaded and turned into other classes, you must get permission from both instructors. Plagiarism kind of is on a spectrum or continuum, and on one end of the spectrum is accidental or unintentional plagiarism. Examples of these could be misspelling an author's name in a citation, citing a source within the text, but failing to add it to the reference page, or failing to add all elements to the references on the reference page. And these examples could be attributed to editorial or proofreading errors, but they still could result in deducted points for students. Intentional or more obvious plagiarism is any text that is directly copied and pasted from any source, for example, websites, books, journal articles, or dictionaries, without quotation marks and a proper citation. It could be using others' photographs, tables, videos, or screenshots without giving credit, or using the work of a tutor, friend, or colleague to write your paper. Although every situation is open to interpretation, these examples would usually result in more serious consequences. Another concept that's maybe helpful to understand is called patch writing. This is substituting only a few words from the original quotation. In this situation, a writer would copy and paste a direct quote and then just replace one or two words and call that a paraphrase. But this usually results in work that is too similar to the original writers and thus is considered a form of plagiarism. Another concept that's important to understand is a similarity score. This refers to the amount of text in one piece of writing that is similar to another. Plagiarism detection software like Turnitin reviews writing to determine this score, which compares one text against a database. The software then determines what percentage of the verbatim text is not quoted. Some academic institutions have similarity score limits, which student writing cannot exceed, for example, 10%. This means that no more than 10% of the text comes from another source, and 90% of the document is completely original. For example, let's say a student turns in a paper and it comes out with a similarity score of 20%. The student may be told in this case to either revise the piece to lower the similarity score, or points may be deducted. Higher similarity scores, especially over 50%, may have more serious consequences. GSCP writing support recommends a similarity score no higher than 10% in graduate level writing. It is important, however, to interpret the score and understand the matching text, and then make changes based on the information provided. Any full sentence that is highlighted and it has been copied and pasted without quotation marks should be paraphrased. So how do we avoid plagiarism? Well, the first tip is to paraphrase effectively. Paraphrasing allows you to include other source material in your own words by summarizing, synthesizing, and comparing and contrasting data. So here are some steps or ideas for how to paraphrase effectively. The first is to fully read and fully understand the passage. If you don't take time for that, it will be too difficult for you to put it in your own words. The second step is to paraphrase whole sections or paragraphs rather than paraphrasing sentence by sentence. The latter, paraphrasing sentence by sentence, tends to lend to that patch writing. And so it's better if you can think about paraphrasing a big chunk of writing. And then as you are trying to paraphrase, cover up the original text. Don't just keep looking back and forth. If you do need to just paraphrase a single sentence, consider restructuring the sentence by making it the words at the beginning, placed at the end, flip it around somehow. So I have some examples of an original version of a text with two paraphrases. This is about primates using sign language. Here's the original quote. If the existence of a signing ape was unsettling for linguists, it was also startling news for animal behaviorists. Okay, and then here is the first paraphrase. Davis, 2005, observed that the existence of a signing ape unsettled linguists and startled animal behaviorists. In this paraphrase, you can see there is the exact wording as in the original. The existence of a signing ape is exactly original. And the same verbs, unsettled and startled, are used in the original version as in the paraphrase. An acceptable paraphrase might be something like this. When they learned of an ape's ability to use sign language, both linguists and animal behaviorists were taken by surprise. So in this paraphrase, you can see the sentence is completely reframed in a new way. No longer is there the same exact wording. The verbs are changed, and so everything is really unique. The second tip is for you to proofread carefully. This will help you avoid maybe accidental plagiarism. Check each in-text citation to make sure the full reference is included on the reference page. So there should be that one-to-one correspondence. Ensure the information included in the in-text citations and references is accurate, with no misspelled words or missing information. Also, don't assume that the references are completely perfect if they come from a citation generator or from the library database. Sometimes there are errors, so it's important to learn the formatting well enough yourself to be able to spot the mistakes. And the last tip, of course, is to visit writing support. We are happy to help you learn the guidelines and give advice about how best to utilize APA formatting and to avoid plagiarism. Here are some more resources that may help you to find writing support with GSCP. You can go to our community page, and there are great APA resources online that you can find in addition to the APA manual. Thank you so much for listening, and wish you all the best in your writing. Bye-bye.